when she mentioned how her aunt bit off the spoon, she completely done me in, and my heart went on a journey to the moon. When she told about her father and the gin, and I never saw a more enchanting farce than the moment when she shouted, "Move your blooming out!" Down this street before, but the pavement always stayed beneath my feet before. All at once am I several stories high, knowing I'm on the street where you live. Are there lilac trees in the heart of town? Can you hear a lark in any other part of town? Does enchantment pour out of every door? No, it's just on the street where you live. And oh, the towering feeling just to know somehow you are near. The overpowering feeling that any second you may suddenly appear. People stop and stare, they don't bother me, for there's nowhere else on earth that I would rather be. Let the time go by, I won't care if I can be here on the street where you live. People stop and stare, they don't bother me, for there's nowhere else on earth that I would rather be. Let the time go by, I won't care if I can be here on the street where you live.
Yay! Chris, you sound glorious. So let me ask you a few questions.
Yes.
Well, first of all, let me just say that I loved the moment before that you had. Like, you just had a wonderful sense of I absolutely got, and I hope this was your goal, that she just left you, right? And that feeling of like, oh, what just happened was wonderful, right? But sustaining that is very difficult, right? So how do we, as actors, then sustain that moment? And I think some of that is asking yourself, what do you know at the end of this song? What do you decide at the end of the song that you don't know at the beginning? So, Frederick, in this case, if let's just go through the moments here. So she just left. You're like, WTF? What just happened? Right? And you're still. I mean, I think you can afford to use the entire song to figure out what is this feeling so sudden and new? Like you figure it out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Use this whole thing. It's very active to go. And because, I don't know, are you sure that you love her at the very top of the song? Are you sure that like she's the one?
I feel like I'm infatuated with her at the beginning, but then when that people stop and stare happens twice,
Yeah.
in the middle of those two, I think that's sort of when I feel like she's rejected me, but
Yeah.
I'm sticking with her anyway.
It's interesting. So like, right, and you do say it twice.
Yeah.
So why the first time? Probably it's just an observation,
Right.
right? People are stopping, they're staring. Does it bother? Doesn't bother? Actually, and does it usually bother you?
Right.
But the new information this time around is, people stop and stare. They don't bother me. Oh my gosh, that used to bother me when people stopped and stared at me because class was so important and stature and who you're with and who's on your arm, so important, right? And but how one speaks. I mean, that's what the whole show is about. This is from My Fair Lady, by the way. We all know this, yes. But I wonder if there is opportunity for you to even surprise yourself as you're saying all this. right? And the discovery of all of that will give you a way to pace out this song in a way that doesn't feel like, boy, there's a lot more song left to go, right? Does that make any sense to you?
Yes, it does.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what I did love, I loved your choices of making, like smelling the lilac trees. It keeps you so present, but it's so difficult to kind of prolong that like infatuation moment. I think that infatuation moment is the first moment, but then what are you doing? Why does he sing? He sings to like figure it out. It's like when we've all done this, right? We've all like figured it out. We have all figured out stuff on our feet. Go, well, if I did this, this could happen. Well, if I got into this college, I could go here. But what if I don't get it? Then what am I going to do with myself? I guess I'm going to work at Starbucks, but I can't really. You know what I mean? It's we talk to ourselves in that way, and I feel like here you are on the street all by yourself, talking to yourself, right?
Yes.
And you're figuring it out. So I would say, can we try something? Can we try this as a monologue?
Okay.
And feel free to like pace and figure it out, but I want you to feel much more like, I don't know. And if you feel like there are discoveries, like, I do this often in an acting exercise when I go, oh my gosh, my character just learned something. Like, I will often do this to kind of signify, I've learned something, right? And I think there are several of those when you observe the moment of like, oh my gosh, that's how I really feel, right? So just walk and talk this song a little bit from here. Yeah, as an exercise.
I have often walked down this street before, but the pavement always stayed beneath my feet before. All at once am I several stories high, knowing I'm on the street where you live. Are there lilac trees in the heart of town? Can you hear a lark in any other part of town? Does enchantment pour from every door? No, it's just on the street where you live. And oh, the towering feeling just to know somehow you're near. The overpowering feeling that any second you may suddenly appear. People stop and stare. They don't bother me, for there's nowhere else on earth that I would rather be. All at once am I lying.
Okay. You're doing great. Actually, wait. So hold on. So just even that much. What was different for you guys watching that?
He was actually thinking. You could see him thinking.
The moment to moment and like the light, like all of the discoveries you were making them. And not only what happened was, I don't know if you noticed this the first time, but as he was singing, there was a wandering that happened of like, I don't really know where to place myself. When you monologued the song, every step was justified. You were walking into a new thought. Your focuses were so clear. That's where you went. This is the street. Like all of a sudden, all of those things made sense, like physically, right? I bought everything that second time around. And you didn't have to think about it. You didn't have to block it. You didn't have to pre-plan anything. You were actually just acting on the lyric, right? So actually, exactly that. And feel free to you don't even have to don't even feel like you need to like sing it full voice, but monologue the song on pitch in rhythm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just try that as an exercise. Don't think about anything you've pre-planned, but do exactly that. But now put pitches but that kind of specific focus to it. Try that.
Okay.
Yeah. Because to me, like all of a sudden it became alive. Like I saw her, I saw where we were, I saw like who you were, and it was so clear, and you were physically so grounded all of a sudden because the words grounded you, the discoveries grounded you. It was great. Try it on pitch.
Why don't we just start?
Yeah, correct, right there.
What would you say?
Could we start at I've often walked?
Oh, yeah, you just start there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have often walked down this street before, but the pavement always stayed beneath my feet before. All at once am I several stories high, knowing I'm on the street where you live. Are there lilac trees in the heart of town? Can you hear a lark in any other part of town? Does enchantment pour out of every door? No, it's just on the street where And oh, the towering feeling, just to know somehow you are near. The overpowering feeling that any second you may suddenly appear. People stop and stare, they don't bother me, for there's nowhere else on earth that I would rather be. Let the time go by, I won't care if I can be here on the street where you live.
Yeah, well, great. How did you feel?
Good, yeah.
How did you feel? Did you think once about where you were, physically where you were?
No, like, yeah, the thoughts did.
The
help
thoughts,
me.
I don't know, that was so clear to me.
could see it.
What about you guys? What do you think?
Like realistic, like
You
it
could
was
definitely see.
believable the first time, but this just brought it to a whole
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
level, and it's just so much more enhanced.
Yeah, and I also feel like you were starting to make discoveries.
Yes.
Like you were starting to discover what is this moment because you were in it. You were in the moment. So you were making different I was watching you like make different choices about, oh gosh, like am I a little too loud? Am I right? Is she gonna walk? Is she gonna catch me? But like that was so spontaneous and of the moment. And so I've actually never seen another actor do that with that moment. And that's wonderful. It came out of you. And that's yours. Do you know what I mean? That's what I kind of love too, is that, you know, we're all so unique and different. You know what I mean? And I've never seen another actor do that, but that's what's going to make your Frederick so great. Do you know what I mean? Like in the auditioning world, like as professionals, you're going to go out and, you know, they're going to go, well, you know, we're auditioning for a production of Thoroughly Modern Millie. And you're going to have a bazillion girls sitting outside that all want to do it exactly like Sutton Foster
Yeah,
does.
exactly.
And unfortunately, none of
That's
it's
not
going to
what I
ring
want.
true. None of it is going to move me, or the person that's going to go in and go, well, this is me. I'm not as tall as Sutton, and I'm, you know, my voice is different than hers, and I'm maybe a little more overweight than she is, and maybe I'm a little older than she is, but this is me, and this is what I'm going to bring to it. Like, and I'm just gonna live in this moment and live in this song. Like, that's usually the person who gets the
Exactly.
gig, because I remember that.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's I don't know. It's what you did. I thought was really, really excellent. Any other thoughts? Yeah.
So when you were doing it as the monologue and you went up on your line, I usually find that I go up on my lines when I'm working on something new and it changes something and I'm like feeling it and I'm like, I literally don't know what's happening next and I forget my line. So I think that's, you know, it's a really interesting thing to know.
Kind of evidence that you're in the moment.
Yeah, and it's a good part of the process, right? Because you kind of go, gosh, I don't know. Well, maybe there's a break in the train of thought that is
Right.
causing me to lose
Right.
my line. Yeah. It's great. Let's talk about, first of all, I'm not worried about the second half of the song. Let's actually talk about the first part of the song. Oh, we have time.
We've got a lot of people.
Correct. So, yeah, your just for you for the next time, because what you did was excellent. The same thing. What causes you to keep singing, right? So from the beginning of the song to like this huge musical break before I have often walked down, all of this, I think this is all stuff he's saying for the very first time. It's all like, what is happening? Literally, it is like, what is this feeling? So sudden, right? So you can take your time to like discover what is happening inside me. Well, my stomach feels queasy and I'm a little lightheaded and what's going on? And then let that drive you into the next discovery. Do you know what I mean? Yes. Is this helpful at all? Good. Awesome. It sounds great. Awesome. Thank you.